let's start. Today, before starting and continuing in the our class, we shall see that so far what we have studied. Initially, we have seen the structure and the function of the bank, in which we have seen that how the banking came into the picture. We saw that initially there was a Mahajan, and when they were charging the exorbitant interest rate, the disparity in the economy was prevailing. So that is why the concept of the banking came in the initial classes. I also told that the banking came with the purpose of, we can say the main purpose of the banking is to give the loan and also get the deposits from the public. Thereafter we came to the definition, the structure in the banking in India. We saw that the RBI is the apex body of the banking, which is regulating all the banking functions, in which there is a structure. Thereafter we came to the emergence of the multi-function dimensions, in which we saw that with the coming of the new dimension, or you can say the new era of the technology, the functioning of the banking also changed. NEFT, RTGS, we have discussed this. Thereafter we came to the system of banking, in which we saw the unit banking, branch banking, group banking, and the chain banking. Unit banking, we discussed that the unit banking is a bank which is working in only a single place. That is what is you can say the unit banking. The branch banking, a big bank having the branches at the different places. Thereafter we come to the group banking. Suppose a bank is giving to the benefit to the group in the banking. Suppose I give the example of the Ambani and the Tata, suppose, or even the Bharti. I told, if a bank is getting a benefit and the deposits and the money from the in a bulk, definitely he shall be giving the segment of the concession in the discount. Thereafter we came to the RBI. Yesterday we were seeing that how the banking came and the main bank or the central bank of the country came into the picture. We saw that in the first of the 19th century, three presidency bank came at Madras, Bombay and Bengal. Thereafter we saw that Imperial Bank came to the existence on 27th January 1921 by name of the Imperial Bank, and Imperial Bank was established by the Imperial Bank of India in 1920. Thereafter we came into the central bank as the RBI, which was established as the RBI as the central bank through the RBI Act 1934. Thereafter we saw that preamble of the RBI Act. It is the function to regulate and the issue of banknotes and keeping the reserves. We discussed what is the purpose of the bank or the RBI. So I told that the RBI issue currency and also it gives the reserves on behalf of the government. Thereafter we came to the functions, in which we saw that monetary functions and non-monetary functions. It issues notes, banker to the government, banker's bank, custodian of the foreign exchange reserve. Thereafter controller of the rate, in which we saw that the bank rate. I told that bank, it is the RBI which revise different times the CRR and a different interest is prevailing in the banking system. Thereafter we came to the non-monetary functions, in which we saw the supervisory function. I told that the RBI is having the function to regulate and supervise the banking in India. Thereafter let us come to we came to the structure, in which we saw the RBI, which is having the apex body, and thereafter it is having the control over the scheduled bank and non-scheduled bank. Scheduled bank is divided into the state cooperative banks and the commercial banks, and the non-scheduled bank is divided into central cooperative banks and primary credit society and non-scheduled commercial banks. Commercial bank is again divided into foreign bank and Indian bank. Indian bank is further divided into public sector bank and the private sector bank. Public sector bank is again divided, or you can say it has been bifurcated, and you can see into state bank and its branches. You have seen that State Bank of Patiala and this and that, and main bank, you can say the main head of the branches, head bank is State Bank. Rest is Nationalized Bank, in which I discussed that there is a nationalization which has been taken place, in which the public sector bank has been nationalized. For the thereafter regional rural banks, in which I saw and we saw the NABARD. Now the central bank introduction is regulates and makes policy relating to the monetary management in the country. I have discussed that the main function of the RBI is to regulate the monetary system, the complete economy, and make the policy relating to the monetary management in the country. It is an organ of the government which participates in the financial market in the different ways. I told that whenever the government has to function the economy, it operates through the what? RBI. Whenever initially we have seen and I told you that for the inflation, suppose there is the inflation, and I give the example of the, you can say in the Corona period, there was the interest rate prevailing very high. So in order to prevail the and the boost up the economy, the interest rate has been reduced, and thereby so that the liquidity in the market can come, and thereafter it may promote the economic activities, and thereby the, you can say, the GDP may increase, and thereby ultimately the economy may get the benefit. So that is why it is the main function is to regulate the monetary policy related to the monetary system, and then the order to which parts in the financial market differently. Firstly, the by issuing the currency note. I have discussed this. I also told you that any currency note apart from rupee 1 has to be issued by the RBI. Rupee 1 has to be issued by the government of India. Only rupee 1 has to be issued by the government of India. Rest of the notes are issued by the RBI. Second function is by working as the agent and the advisor of the government, specifically concerning financial matters such as loans, advances, servicing, and debts, etc. I told that whenever the government has to raise funds from market, or it is in the requirement of a money